Yo, 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 what up, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We got live coverage today for you guys. I'll be going through some stuff as well, but I also figured out how to do multi-window, and the reason why it wasn't working all week during the protests was because I had a VPN on apparently the whole time. So I was trying to open Windows and do all that, and it just was not working, and I was getting mad. But I think I figured it out. So we got a skyline of we got the Tel Aviv skyline. Okay, Iran and Israel have been exchanging rockets. I've been covering a war for 3 years, so you guys like my motivation to like, oh, another war. I'm not there with it. I'm just being so serious. It's tough, you guys, to just jump, for me at least, to go from like conflict to conflict to conflict. I'm just don't want to do that, but I know there's been lots of people interested, and might as well do it, right? So you don't hear sound? It's pretty quiet right now. Okay, that's about all the sound you're gonna get for now until I find out a couple other streams that we're looking for. Google kept thinking I was sus. Yeah, it was my VPN. Actually, might have been okay that we had the VPN on, to be honest. So like, very conflicting. She had a Tehran feed up. Okay, actually, we got Jerusalem too. Watch, I'll show you guys. I'll show you that I know what I'm doing now. So we can have two screens up. We could have been doing this all week. Let's see, let's call this. Don't worry about that.
From hard hats to steel-toed boots, Granger's got your safety needs covered. Literally. Shop Granger's vast inventory of safety products. Call, click, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to turn that off. What is that? Granger. Okay, we're almost there with it. Yeah, got a Granger ad. You're not supposed to have those. Oh, it's because. Oh man, dude, I might have to get YouTube Premium on my other account too. Just do it now if we're doing multi-screen, because we can't have freaking ads. Good to see you. What up, Robert? I wonder if, yeah. Let me do this here. I think we just got to get premium on both accounts. I have it for my gaming one, but I don't have it for anything else. If you guys are just tuning in, I'll give you guys a full rundown. Welcome back to the stream. I'll give you guys a full rundown in a second. Just when you think you have it figured out. Just going to do it again. Let's see, give me 1 second. Guten Tag. Hello, Sabine. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody coming back. The family plan. I thought it did. I don't know which one I have. I don't know if I'll have time for that then. I don't know if I'll have time for it. Hello, what up, Duncan? Good to see everybody. Trying to get the other feed I have up so we can have multi-feed, but if I'm logged into a stupid. Okay. Alright, that'll work for now. Okay. Yeah, it's like, it shows me I'm not even signed into a YouTube, but like, I don't know why it's doing it like this. Hopefully, okay, we'll fix it. I just need to figure out how to log into the correct account on there. But this is Jerusalem. Here we go. Multi-screens. The thing you guys have been asking for. But I need to get that fixed though, because you might not be logged in on the right channel. What up, Lisa? Okay, and also I should be able to, let me see. Should be able to do this. And then I go like what? And then I can make that smaller. Some shit like that, huh? Look at that. Now a professional stream. Oh boy. Now we're rocking. Dude, I was trying to set up, I was in the mainframe this weekend. I was trying to get a ticker and everything. So that way, like, because people always ask, is this live? Is this live? Is this live? And like, I'd rather just have like a ticker telling you or something. Or like a time. I used to have one when I started covering Russia's invasion of Ukraine right away. And now I need to get it back again. But now a lot's changed in the last 3 years since I last did it. When I did it 3 years ago, there was like a website that had the time on it. And I need to figure out how to integrate that back again. This is now. Yes. You're live right now. I got 2 feeds up for you. And then I'll give you guys a background here. Yeah, remember to hit the like. I can do that easy. I know, but I'm dumb. Okay. Dude holding the drone. You talking about the parade? Yeah, parade was not good, you guys. I'm just going to be serious. Let me see here. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, this is live, you guys. Live Skyline. Israel and Iran exchanging missiles. You got Israel launched Operation Rising Lion. So just to catch you guys up with everything that is going on. Overall, on June 13th, because like right in the middle of our protest coverage from LA, we had exchange of rockets between well, Israel started launching rockets into Tehran, and now Iran's responding. Massive air campaign with 200 plus aircraft striking over 100 sites in Iran, including nuclear facilities, Natanz and Isfahan, IRGC command centers, and missile infrastructure. Hundreds of Iranian leaders and scientists were killed. Civilian casualties are substantial at this time. Wonder if unexpected texts from Kegseth are free from the Trumpmobile. Mossad's secret drone base inside of Iran and covert sabotage played a crucial role, disabling missile launchers and air defenses before the airstrikes began. Iran retaliated with missile barrages, launching over 150 ballistic missiles and 100 drones under Operation True Promise 3. Operation True Promise 3. Despite Israel intercepting 80 to 90% of drones, dozens hit cities like Tel Aviv, Haifa, Bat Yam, Petah Tikva, and Bnei Brak, causing civilian deaths, and hundreds have been injured in the response to the retaliation from Operation True Promise 3. A new wave launched overnight. Iran fired another barrage on June 16th, like today. So this is like happening every day at this point. Killing at least 5 civilians and injuring over 90 in central Israel. Okay, that's the latest on that. So far for U.S. involvement, Trump has vetoed assassination plans. Israel was going to take out the supreme leader of Iran, and Trump said no. U.S. forces are positioned defensively. They always have been. But Trump is also tweeting like, it's going to continue.
At Taco John's, we serve a higher standard of flavor with grilled chicken, creamy fiesta sauce, and always hot potato olays. That's what we call West Mex. Try our freshest lineup yet.
Okay, I need to fix that. Okay, so we need to figure that out. I need to figure out how to turn off the ads in the second window. Oh, you're Taco John's. Think about it. See, we're halfway there. So we can do multiple windows. I just need to figure out how to get my other account logged in over there. Halfway there. Latest report from the IDF. You can check that out. You're suddenly hungry for tacos. But I can't be live all night though, you guys. I have softball tonight, apparently. If storms subside. What's that noise now? Wind. If the storms subside, softball will be back. Trump and Putin are butt buddies. We're going to use Trumpmobile to help his streaming. The Trumpmobile? For what? The last thing they tweeted, Iran's fingerprints are on terror attacks across the whole world. You can ignore it until it lands on your doorstep. So this is what Israel put out an hour ago.
Iran isn't just a threat to Israel. They're a threat to the entire world. For years, they've outsourced terror like it's a business model, arming proxies to do their dirty work across the globe. Their terror campaign didn't start with Israel. 1983, Beirut, 241 American servicemen killed by Hezbollah, one of Iran's favorite proxies. 1992, Buenos Aires, Iranian-backed terrorists bombed the Israeli embassy, killing 29 and injuring 200. 1994, again Buenos Aires.
The Trump-mobile like he's a pope.
85 people dead. And yes, the Iranian regime's fingerprints are all over it. 2012, Bangkok. A botched Iranian assassination attempt on Israeli diplomats. Although it was a failure, the intent was loud and clear. 2015, Iran supplied weapons and training to Houthi rebels, leading to attacks on Saudi Arabia and other regional targets. 2020, we can't forget, Iran launched ballistic missiles at U.S. military bases in Iraq.
Did I hear that Ukrainians been killed in the Iranian attacks on Israel?
Iran's reach is global. Their proxies, plans, and explosives span continents. You can ignore it until their terror reaches you.
Okay. You can ignore it until it reaches you. So that's what they put out last. The Iranian Shahed drones have been used in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Hello. Recap of our recent operations over Tehran. Strike on 2 F-14 fighter jets that were located at an airport in Tehran. These jets were intended to intercept Israeli aircraft. Eliminated the launch cell minutes before launch. Oh, oops. All the rest of their F-14s are gone, so I think that's the last of the F-14s. Oops, I hit the wrong button again. Wrong button twice. We can keep that open though for now. Okay, so that happened. That was posted over 2 hours ago. You got sirens sounding across northern Israel following another barrage of Iranian missiles. That's what the map's looking like, apparently. Today, the Israeli Air Force conducted precise strike based on intelligence, targeting a communication center that was being used for military purposes by the Iranian armed forces. The building was used by the Iranian armed forces under the guise of civilian activity, covering up the military use of the center's infrastructure and assets. Okay, prior to the strike, IDF provided an effective advanced warning to the civilian population, including phone calls to mitigate harm to civilians as far as feasible. Let's see what Iran is posting. Daily Iran military commentary account. Updates on the Islamic. That's got to be. It's got 1 million followers. Got to be legit. Spokesman of the IRGC moments ago, the 9th wave of the Operation True Promise was launched. Oh, so you might see strikes in Tel Aviv here soon. That was just posted 4 minutes ago. A 9th wave. So we got another wave coming here, apparently. If these updates have been accurate. After our strike last night, Haifa's oil refinery is officially out of operation. Red alert just went off in Israel. Well, that makes sense. They just posted a couple minutes ago that there's a 9th wave coming in from Operation True Promise 3. Operation True Promise 3 has just escalated. The next phase is officially in motion. And they're using file footage, not actual footage. Boy. The amount of AI and bullshit generated stuff between this conflict is going to be out of this world. I'm telling you that now. That's why I'm just showing you what they're saying. I don't even know independent anything here. You're going to see, I think the Iranian military posted a giant F-35 that isn't even they shot another one down apparently, but the one they posted was like the size of like, fucking... It's going to be a nightmare for propaganda. I'm just telling you that. It's going to be so bad. And then a lot of the people involved, too, like, that are going to be reporting on this are also not good either. It'll be interesting. So apparently ninth wave coming if the Iranian military account has been accurate in terms of, like, when they post that strikes are coming. But the red alert in Israel tells me that something is at least coming. Okay, Trump at G7. So Trump refuses to join G7 leaders in calling for de-escalation between Israel and Iran.
Nothing official yet. They haven't turned on the microphones, and sometimes you can pick something up in the side conversations. But
they're so over him. Is that Maloney? And wasn't that? That's the Italian PM, right? They're so. It was such a shit show today. And she's right wing too, or whatever. I think Asen did G7 updates. Yeah, we wanted Trump. What was said here? I want just the G7 stuff. Oh, okay. So if you're wondering like what's going on with that, while we're waiting for apparently a 9th wave reported. I'm being so serious, guys. I guess we'll find out if... I'm telling you now. So there's going to be a shitload of propaganda, and you're going to have to... Like, if you're going to track this one, you personally need to do a lot of work. Does that make sense? Like... Because this is going to be a nightmare of bullshit. Okay, so this just got posted 17 seconds ago. The 9th wave of Operation True Promise 3 is a combined offensive using both missiles and drones. And then they probably use a video that's not even them firing it. But we do have missiles coming into Tel Aviv, so that is happening. So, but what they're showing isn't going to probably be like the actual like salvos. It's probably going to be like file footage or some other bullshit. And then you got Israel putting out like, come on, America, join our stuff propaganda. And it's going to be a shit show. But we'll keep up with it though. So apparently a 9th wave from this True Promise 3 is heading into Tel Aviv like soon here. I got the audio up. We'll hear it. Okay, so McCallum says we're hearing that President Trump will not sign the G7 statement that calls for Israel and Iran to de-escalate. What?
Reporter on the scene at
I think that Netanyahu and Trump should receive a Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts. What is happening?
G7 says that a White House official is telling us, and we heard some wind of this earlier today, that President Trump will not sign the G7 joint statement that was expected to call for Israel and Iran to...
Okay, we're going to do a poll right off the bat, because this has to be a unanimous, like... I can't be alone here about U.S. getting involved in another Middle Eastern war as a fat L. Is the majority... I don't give a shit. Like, bro, we spent 21 years there, and before that, even more. Let's see. Let's ask the chat, though, if you truly think. Do you support another one? Another war in the Middle East? The U.S. war. Another U.S. involved. U.S. involved war in the Middle East, because there's some Twitter propagandists doing their damnness, saying that, boy, this is everybody's concern. Everyone is Israeli now. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I am. I don't know about all that. Okay, let's find out. Let's ask chat. I'll put it on the other platforms too. We'll start with YouTube. Thank you for the 21 months from Tia. This one should be close to 99%, dude. I swear. Unless we got just trolls. Actual, like, full-throated trolls here. Let me rotate my account here. Can't even see the poll we're looking at. Let's put the skyline back up in case something happens while I'm scrolling. Okay. pull it up here. If you vote yes, you're a bot. Crazy work, huh? Yeah, well, 89%. Okay, the 11% that do. What is your argument? What is your argument that Iran is minutes away from a nuke and we have to do it again for the same thing we did it in the first time and the time before that? Truly, if like you're one of the 11% that said yes, why? This is what I voted for, peace through strength. That's a whole other argument. I'm asking in general, do you support U.S. troops going into the Middle East again and getting involved in this? As it looks like Israel's trying to like this is what this video is for. It's not just, it's across the world. It's America's problem too, basically.
De-escalate, and that President Trump will continue to work towards ensuring Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. What do you read into that, Lizzie?
I think it's amazing. I think that this is exactly.
So are we actually in full 1984 then with it? Like, this war is peace? Like, actually, like, are you arguing that by joining in Israel's war? If like if the U.S. does join in this, that's peace? Are you full 1984 up already, guys, on that? Those that are saying that, or at least the 11%, because it's overwhelmingly, 89% still is pretty good majority there.
Exactly what we need is America and Israel together holding hands. And frankly, I think that Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump should be receiving a Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts here, because
pro-Israel activists.
This is going to change the entire face of the Middle East, but they are also saving the entire Western world from nuclear disaster. And I think, it's exactly what we want to see, this team aligned, and they're not going to, they're not going to leave until the job is done.
Lizzie, thank you.
Diana, you're mad that we don't want to be dragged into another war in the Middle East. Stay mad. Watch. You want to see more people at the No Kings protests? You want to see it get worse in terms of like people against the administration. Send U.S. troops to the Middle East and watch what happens. And you're calling me retarded for that statement. You're calling me retarded for that is insane, actually. It's going to be that it'll be like the most unbiased, non-political, like unanimous, mostly condemnation if the U.S. troops go to Middle East again. It won't just like, I think that will be literally, even MAGA will be involved. Like everyone will all be together. Well, it'll bring America together, I think, actually, in a stupid way, but I call me, you have no idea, dude. I've like tread across the whole political aisle personally, and that no one's serious, even though you might have your other opinions about other things. Nobody that's serious is going to support another Middle Eastern war that actually does care. They might be wrong in a lot of other ways, but you'll find out who's like actually serious if they have a take that supports sending the troops into the Middle East again. You'll truly find out who's who. I want to see more from the G7. Oh, Tucker Carlson saying the quiet parts out loud.
So what is that? That's not by popular acclaim. That's not like their viewer surveys. Like, we need a lot more Mark Levin. Less Jesse Waters, more Mark Levin. Mark Levin! What they're doing is what they always do, which is just turning up the propaganda hose to full blast and just trying to, knock elderly Fox viewers off their feet and make them submit to it.
Uh-oh. We do that too. Hold on, you're giving away the trick. Hold on now, Tucker Carlson. Hold on now, you're saying too much. Is he okay? He's gone. Tucker, you're talking about Tucker Carlson? he's gonna do whatever gives him the most propaganda, and right now it's like some weird left, like I don't even know what to explain. He's like a Marxist fascist thing going on. He's I think Tucker Carlson's turning into his final propagandist form, because he can now whip. You got people on the far left that watch him now, and it's crazy because he's like positioned himself as like an a cringe anti-war person with his propaganda, and like going to Russia and like doing Russia propaganda. It's probably just Russia. He's just a Russian propagandist now. Probably sounds like CBC or Canada channels are best for the G7 coverage. I was just looking for the clips.
You go over there. I'll put you in the middle. Okay. Yeah. Not bad. Put the gun up there. We got the forge and the other.
All right, where's the other? Who had the other G7 postings? Was it ASIN? I think it might have been Rupar. I think Rupar had the other G7 posts. Gonna have more posts about Minnesota here. Okay, we can like go over other random stuff. I'm trying to find more G7 things, and we're also waiting for a ninth salvo from Iran into Israel. We're waiting for. Who's posting the red alerts for Tel Aviv? If you guys just tuning in, so let's see what Iran posted quick while I'm scrolling. Footage captured moments ago by our Iraqi brother shows aerial assets en route to occupied Palestine. And you can't see anything. Video quality potato. Okay, so that's from their True Promise, the 9th wave. So that's what we know. Waiting for anything in Tel Aviv right now. That's what we got the skyline up. Okay, okay, here we go. Let me exercise my role as G7 chair. Mark Carney had to stop Trump from taking more questions.
All Democrat-run cities.
Oh boy.
And they think they're going to use them to vote. It's not going to happen.
That's it. Thank you. If you don't mind, I'm going to exercise my role, if you will, as G7 chair, since we have a few more minutes with the president and his team, and then we actually have to start the meeting to address some of these big issues. So,
who's going to do that? Who's going to do the weave as long as you let him? Stand there and just ramble. Stand there and just say whatever the fuck he wants.
Thank you. Thank you, media. Let's go. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Thank you very much. Out. Go, guys. Out. Thank you. Katie, let's go. Out. They don't want to. Thank you. Okay.
That's because you're doing nonsense, bullshit, MAGA propaganda at a G7 meeting. Nobody gives a fuck there. All that shit is the reason why Mark Carney is that. Otherwise, you would have a conservative from Canada leading it. And he'd probably maybe let you ramble a little more. Maybe not, though. I don't know. He's the whole reason Mark Carney is even there. Otherwise, the liberals in Canada were going to take a fat L. There's going to be such a fat L. Okay, here's some more. Putin speaks to me. Oh, boy. He doesn't speak to anybody else because he was very insulted when he got thrown out of the G8. He was thrown out by Trudeau, who convinced one or two people along with Obama. What in the heck?
China here, the biggest economy in the world after the United States.
Well, it's not a bad idea. I don't mind that. If somebody wants to suggest China coming in, I think we suggest. But you want to have people that you...
He looks like dog shit, doesn't he? Like, actually, like, even all the orange, it's not helping. His neck pussy's getting bigger.
can talk to, you know, they don't talk. Putin speaks to me. He doesn't speak to anybody else. He doesn't want to talk. Because he was very insulted when he got thrown out of the...
He's like, you already have the American flag and Canadian flag, and he had to wear another American flag, the lapel pin, like an idiot.
As I would be, as you would be, as anybody would be. He was very insulted. And, I mean, he was thrown out by Trudeau, who convinced one or two people, along with...
He sounds like shit, bro. Like, he's like slurring his speech, and he just looks puffy and everything.
Obama, he was thrown out. And he's not a happy person about it, I can tell you that.
Just a fat neck pussy. That thing is getting massive, dude. Been drooling on his lip and shit. The video quality's bad, and you can still see the drool on his... Like, he's just... Dude. Golly. Low T-Don. Low energy Donald. I was just... Nuking Gaza. What are they talking about on CNN? Oh boy. Meanwhile, on CNN, nuking Gaza would be a terrible idea. The fallout would drift in. That's the... What the fuck?
I know you were well aware of Iran's influence.
This is why, honestly, this is why, bro, I'm being serious. This is why I don't tap into this conflict. I'm being serious, because it's like the worst people all around, and the dumbest takes, dumbest politics. And it's the fucking, I'm just, it's, bro, what are you even saying? So fuck the people in Gaza then. It's more, it'd be worse. It'd be worse for the fallout into Israel instead of the nuke that would like nuke all the Palestinians. What are we even talking about? That's why I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I can, I will. We'll do it now. But like, that's why I haven't been, because that's the takes that we have here. And then I'm supposed to like have smart analysis in response to that. Like, oh yeah, well, respond to that then. Like, what do you mean? You're talking about nuking Gaza or moving troops into Gaza and like ethnically cleansing the rest of the Palestinians. And then because it will help Israel, I guess. And this is turning into like, Israel's already a nuclear superpower. We already pay them billions every year. Like just for just existing, we pay them every year. We don't hear about my taxpayer money for that though. Some people do now, but like that, we just give Israel money. We also personally protect Israel, like with our military, at least not like with ground troops. Well, the ground troops do with the bases in the Middle East, but we have our super carrier will go in there. Our Air Force is there. Same with the UK. We give them it's the most support all the time. It's like the most all the time for decades and decades and decades now.
On groups, terrorist organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah.
Thank you, Pixie.
Though last month, you said this when asked about how to treat Gaza.
In World War II, we did not negotiate a surrender with the Nazis. We did not negotiate a surrender with the Japanese. We nuked the Japanese twice in order to get unconditional surrender. That needs to be the same here. There is something deeply, deeply wrong with this culture, and it needs to be defeated.
Did you really mean to say that the U.S. should use nuclear weapons against a people because there's something wrong with their culture?
Of course not. What I was saying is that we...
So she's confronting what he said on Fox News on CNN. That's what's happening here.
Didn't negotiate with evil in World War II.
This is a representative from Florida, Randy Fine.
Defeated the Germans. We defeated the Japanese using any means that were necessary.
Yeah, we didn't want to go and fight the Germans right away. I wonder why. I wonder why we're like, let's fucking nuke the Japanese. I wonder why. And we also put Japanese in internment camps too. Trump wanted his leadership to be all about him, but it now shows he can't run anything or stop a war, and the people can see it.
Necessary. And the same needs to be done in Gaza. Nuking Gaza would be a terrible idea. The fallout would drift into Israel. It would kill the hostages. The point that I was making was...
But you're not worried about it killing, for example, women in Gaza who, the innocents?
I think war is a messy thing, and I think that...
War is a messy thing. He's not backing down from like saying we want to nuke Gaza. What are we talking about?
When you defeat evil, you have to do what is necessary to do it.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Israel cannot live next to a country that a huge percentage of the people wish to destroy it all of the time. They need to do whatever is necessary, and I don't know what those things are, in order to get unconditional surrender in Gaza. And I think that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, you brought up nuking them, though. So
no, I didn't
bring
up. I did not bring up nuking them.
You literally
I talked about. That's not what I said. No.
You said the same thing should be done.
Terms of getting, that is taking.
You wouldn't bring up a comparison of nuking Japan to win and beat them if that's not what you were trying to do. Now you're being a wuss. Now you're being a wuss.
Out of context. I said.
You take me out of context. You took me out of. That's their famous one. Took context missing.
In the same way we did
what
was necessary to get Japan to unconditionally surrender, they need to do the same thing over there, no matter what that is. I don't know what those tools are, but it took us nuking Japan not once but twice in order to get them to unconditionally surrender, and it's estimated that saved 1 million American lives in the...
We were fighting a world war that Japan was on the enemy team. That's like another layer of it. It was World War II. And Japan was on the bad guy team. We're not fighting a world war. Israel is not fighting a world war, even though they want to make it one in their propaganda. It's not.
Process. My point is, we didn't sit down and go, oh no, civilians might die, let's not get Japan to surrender. I believe the Palestinianism in Gaza is on a level of evil that we saw in Japan and we saw in Germany.
You're comparing Palestinians to Imperial Japan. Bro, we are beyond cooked. Okay. You're comparing Palestine to Imperial Japan because they were Imperial Japan still. Wild.
Germany back in World War II.
Wild.
Israel needs to do what's necessary to defeat it, and I won't apologize for that.
I get the APAC money. Your Japanese grandfather probably served the army during World War II fighting Nazis. As a true patriotic American, while his family was being rounded up in prison. Yep. All facts. Mongol. I don't care about. Okay. Here's more from the G7. We're still waiting for this 9th salvo, apparently. Haven't seen it yet. Or don't have anything yet. The 9th wave of what did Iran call it again? Operation True Promise 3. Does it take this long to get there? Eight minutes ago, IRGC spokesperson, over the past 72 hours, we have continuously, without interruption, targeted objectives across the occupied territories with 545 attack drones. These operations will continue. Okay, let's see if the IDF had said anything. Nope, nothing in the past couple hours. Okay. Okay, back to the clips from the G7. The G7 used to be the G8. This is Trump. Barack Obama and a person named Trudeau didn't want to have Russia in it. Oh my God.
Together very well. I look forward to that. The G7 used to be the G8. Barack Obama and a person named Trudeau didn't want to have Russia in. And I would say that was a mistake, because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in. And you wouldn't have a war right now if Trump were president 4 years ago. But it didn't work out that way. But it used to be the G8. And now it's, I guess, what's that, 9 years ago?
Like, how else do you explain this? Like, especially with he is owned by Russia. Can we just, like, that can just be understood, right? And if you support him, you don't care. That's the actual truth. He's owned by Russia. If you support him, you don't care about that, because it's irrelevant to the fact of like how much he is owned by Vladimir Putin. It's insane, dude. Putting the Russian flags on the army parade birthday bash that he did. Jesus, dude.
8 years ago, it switched over. They threw Russia out, which I claimed was a very big mistake. Even though I wasn't in politics then, I was very loud about it. It was a mistake in that you spend so much time talking about Russia, and he's no longer at the table, so it makes life more complicated. But you wouldn't have had the war. Other than that, I think we're going to accomplish a lot together very well.
It used to be the G8 until you kick Putin out, and he's a victim. Oh my God.
This morning, you've got an announcement on a new phone. Tell me about that and what you're looking to, quote unquote, correct here.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Maria, more and more we're using technology as a company, right? To
Get your Palantir phone. Yeah. Get your they'll buy it too, and then they'll be able so MAGA will be like the test dummies for Palantir, because they'll absolutely buy the Trump phone, and they'll see how it works and like how they can track your calls, and well, they already can, like the FBI can, but like this system is gonna just be doing it. Like an AI system will just be like always doing it. Like it's not like they need to get a court order to pull up your records, and then obviously the federal government can get it all up in your shit. So at the end of the day, they're gonna get up in your shit. But like this thing is gonna be an AI that like listens and tracks everything, like a facial recognition, cameras, and all, like China has. But again, that's possible already. So it's not like something brand new that's astronomical. But with the added AI capabilities, it's gonna be like Skynet smart. It's gonna be like super smart. But get your Palantir phones, MAGA, I guess.
Well, you know what, Maria, more and more we're using technology as a company, right, to correct the problems. Obviously, Truth Social was to correct freedom of speech, right? I mean, he lost his throughout the political process. Obviously, crypto, and we got the biggest projects in crypto, was to correct another problem, which is the fact that they were debanking all conservatives. I was the most canceled person probably in the history of the country, and now we're doing Trump Mobile, and Trump Mobile is going to revolutionize cell phones, mobile calling. We're going to do it better. We're going to do it safer. We're going to have more functionality, more features. And the coolest thing about all these ventures is we're doing it right here in the United States. You're not calling up call centers in Bangladesh. You're not, you're doing it right out of St. Louis, Missouri. And you're going to have phones that are made right here in the United States of America. And it's going to be cheaper, $47 a month. You're going to have more international dialing for free, hundreds of countries, international dialing for free. It is the biggest bang for the buck, and we're really excited to get into the space.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus Christ, dude. The crypto coin scam isn't enough.
When you take kind of technology, obviously real estate's always been our bread and butter, but when you take the technology world between the social platforms, the actual hard devices, which is really what Trump Mobile is, and then kind of the true retail banking, CeFi, DeFi, worlds of cryptocurrency, which is no question where the world is going.
Crypto phone. So it's going to be crypto thing.
I really believe we're going to have one of the great kind of tech platforms as part of the Trump organization of any company in the world, and I couldn't be more proud of Trump Mobile.
Bringing him onto Fox Business. What a fucking grift, dude. Goes onto Fox Business, which obviously is one of the platforms that, however they feel on this shit, will like move the economy. And if you got like some whiny ass economist goes on there and cries because his company isn't getting money, and then the stocks will move. So you're unveiling your product on Fox Business. So the stock market, oh my God, bro. What to know about the Trump Mobile? Oh my God, bro. Experience the world of Trump. You guys ever want to experience the world of Trump? The Trump multiverse. Holy fuck. Oh my God. The Trump. I thought it was like the Trump mobile. Oh, here you go. What does it look like? The website doesn't. So everyone's trying to get it. The website won't even load. Everyone's looking. Gene, thank you for joining the channel. The website is broken. It's not loading. You want Joe Biden to release his cell phone too? All right, the website loaded. Wow, that looks like shit. $500 for this Temu iPhone. What the fuck? We're just gonna copy the iPhone and make it Trump, but like make it worse. What in the hell? In-screen fingerprint sensor, an AI face lock, I'm sure. It's an Android operating, it's an Android. Obviously. As a headphone jack. Oh, that's right, Androids still have those. What the hell? Pre-order the T1 SM phone. The 47 plan. Bro, if you get onto Trump Mobile, you're beyond help. I mean, a lot of you are that still support this dude, but like this is going to be another level. Like you're going another level into it. There's a lot of people that are already beyond help and it's too late. There's nothing you can do. But this is like another layer of that onion, and you will voluntarily do that to yourself if you get this phone or switch your mobile company to this. Holy fuck. Oh, you don't need to buy the phone. You can just buy the goddamn plan and put it. Oh my god. Voluntarily putting Palantir on your phone. The 47 plan. Bring your own phone. Keep your number. Also, like when I listened to this press conference today, and it seems like the police failed to do their job actually. When dude was sitting, because like if you listen to the press conference about Bolter, they could have stopped him before he even like went to the next house to go murder. Like, because they pulled up and like saw his car and he was sitting in there. And why didn't they detain him and stop him there? They just like they walked up and went to go check on the house, and then he like drove away. That was earlier today. We can get into that later though. I was listening to that press conference and I was like, they did what? And then they exchanged gunfire with him or whatever, and like were shooting at him, but he was able to get out the back door of the house. Something ain't right with it. And then honestly, like the way the No Kings flyers were made, those No Kings flyers, they weren't really No Kings flyers. They were like written No Kings on blank pieces of paper, like thrown in the car. It's fucking shit's weird. The actual conspiracy, not the he did it because they voted against immigration and he's actually a Waltz. He's a Waltz appointee. That's the cooked one. Ignore that one. That one is irrelevant. The dude's MAGA. The actual interesting conspiracy is why the fuck he was able to get away and why it was a 43-hour manhunt when the police could have nailed him twice, according to their own press conference today. Before he even got away from the before he even got away from the golf course area. That one's the actual interesting one to figure out after I heard that today. Does it take like an hour to get to Israel? We launched a wave. Maybe it was already intercepted. Footage is shown, resurfaced showing Zionist terrorists confiscating the cameras of foreign journalists shortly after a ban was imposed on filming the aftermath. I mean, there's still cameras up. We're looking at a couple of them still. We got a couple feeds up. I haven't seen any aftermath or anything yet, and this camera is showing all of the Iron Dome actions. We did see the IDF put their hand over the Reuters camera the other day, though. That did happen.
מצולם במצלמת גוף, וגם הוא עכשיו החבר פה מצלם. רק אני אשמח שלא תצלם, כי בסוף הטלפון יכול להיות אצלי בתחנת אישית. אבל אני לא יכול, אסור לי. אתה מתעד כרגע אירוע משטרתי, וזה יכול לשמש כראיה למשטרת ישראל. לא, הכל טוב. מצולם במצלמת גוף, וגם הוא עכשיו החבר פה מצלם. רק אני אשמח שלא תצלם, כי בסוף הטלפון יכול להיות אצלי בתחנת אישית. אבל אני לא יכול, אסור לי. אתה מתעד כרגע אירוע משטרתי, וזה יכול לשמש כראיה למשטרת ישראל.
It will just flip-flop like Trump College. Also, the phone is not made in the USA. They claim someday it should be made in the USA. It's a big scam, as usual. Okay, anything new from the IDF? Brave Iranian woman humiliated by Netanyahu. Is there like another... Is this can't be the only... There's got to be another Iran account. Iran Observer. Who's posting about Iran? That is 1.1 million. Iran news. Israel struck Iran state TV.
که شنیدید صدای متجاوز به خاک وطن، صدای متجاوز به صدای حق و حقیقت است. آنچه که ملاحظه کردید، صدایی که شنیدید، فضای غبارآلوده استادیوم.
I don't know, that seemed pretty frightening to me. I mean, who wouldn't be? Your TV station just gets blown up. I don't know, it seemed pretty frightening to me there. Fuck, who wouldn't be? Noped out of there, I don't blame her. Israel struck a hospital, that was 9 hours ago. In Kermanshah, Iran. Israeli hospitals may come under strikes tonight. Okay. How do you spell? There you go. He hasn't posted since June 13th. What are accounts to even follow here for this? IDF and the other one are just doing memes. What accounts are you guys looking at here? Thank you, Diana, for becoming a member. Blows my mind that Mega is so stupid not to think of the guy who faked being a cop and could car win. Yeah, it's cringe. We took photos of the actual No Kings logos and the imagery of what it looked like, and it was blank pieces of paper with. They had a silver Sharpie written "No Kings" on blank pieces of paper and like spread out on the car seat. There was not No Kings flyers. That looks so weird. I wonder why the sheriff's department deleted it after it was posted. Iran conflict and there is no heightened risk of 82nd deployment. Okay, good. You're the 82nd CENTCOM says we aren't at a heightened level. Good. We are not. Good to hear. If pro-Israel propagandists got the same, we'd have no channels left. What does that mean? You have a better Tel Aviv view than Agenda Free TV? I'll take it. Steve's had like 60K people watching at minimum every day about this, so he's killing it. Like I said, I just didn't really have an eager earnest to like hop into covering another conflict, especially this one, because it's going to be very difficult to track facts over what's just being posted. Okay, other than these live feeds that are happening, this is the best way. Everything else is just postings and noise that I've noticed, unless there is like solid journalists that you guys know that are not cooked, but a lot of them with this one are. Been a member for 3 years, switched banks. Thank you, Diana. Oh, there you go. Silver. Big Silver. Thank you. 37 months. Reliable sources are hard with this one. Yep. The best one is the live feed. You can see at least when the attacks are coming in. Steve called the video of Iranian strikes on Tel Aviv neat. Jeez. He said neat? What? There's a protest outside G7. What the heck? G7 protest coverage, you guys? Geopolitical protestings. A lot of Ukrainian flags out there. Just making sure you guys get all the protest coverage too.
From Chinese practitioner and the Chinese people.
Cannot unsee, set Ukrainian kids free.
What's the Falun Gong? Falun Gong is
Okay, so you got a G7 protest happening. Turn this off for a second. Turn that back on if needed.
exercise or meditation, you know, it's even persecuted.
Hello to everyone here. Good day. Palestinian flags.
6 years. You know why? They don't Chinese.
Wow, this is not in America, and it looks almost the same as an American protests right now too. A little different. Does that say land back?
One media in China called CCTV.
Land back? Anti-CCP land back? What is that?
Be careful. You will be in danger. You will be killed sometime, somewhere. So I would like to introduce Luke Zhang to tell the G7 leaders what we want to express. Okay, go ahead.
So you got water protectors, anti-CCP protesters, Palestinian protesters, Ukrainian protesters. Stop the CCP's crime of live organ harvesting. Goodness. They're trying to cover all the geopolitical issues over there at the G7. Pipeline protest. A lot going on there. Move this over. I guess we can pull up that Iran account. It's probably the only one posting stuff. Posting things. This is a live look in Tel Aviv, though. Live Tel Aviv imagery. Is it okay to give Ukraine support billions, but if we do that for Israel, it's Trump's warmonger? It's because we've already gone to war for Israel for 20 some years. It was like in response for 9/11, but like we stayed there longer for Israel, for just being honest. Israel is a nuclear superpower. They're supported by every major Western country full-throated. And Ukraine is not a nuclear superpower anymore because we took their nukes away. And Vladimir Putin has bigger imperialist goals right now that is bigger than I think what Israel wants to do. Israel is trying to do something similar, but Russia is moving into European countries and doing something the same. So that's why I supported weapons going to Ukraine and defending Ukraine, because they don't have anywhere close to the level of support that we give to Israel. And Ukraine did not provoke Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Russia's trying to just take Ukraine back because Ukraine's a former Soviet country, and Ukraine since 1991 has had their independence, but they've had to continue fighting for it. So it's really like, you know, you got a defensive war against full-throated Russian imperialism across. That's going to, if Putin gets his way, it's going to continue across Europe. Whereas like Israel is like, they kind of have their own, the Likud, from their own words, and Zionists have their own imperialist goals, and like they're being imperial too. Yes, the Middle Eastern proxies are also far right and bad too, and that I don't support the Middle Eastern proxies against Israel either. It's like one of those where I don't support either when it comes to like Israel and the Iranian proxies. Like I just don't support either one, but that's why I like actually support Ukraine and like want to continue defending them, because I see their fight as like, well, I guess I see that when it comes to Gaza and the Palestinians, I see their fight as like the same as Ukraine standing up to Russia. Not the same conflict, not the same scale, not the same weaponry, but the spirit of the same fight. So like that's why I'm more sympathetic to like the Palestinians in it, and the Palestinian people, less so than like any of the Iranian proxies. It's like a lot of nuance there, a lot of complexities there for where I'm at with all of it, but I think it's pretty grounded. Pretty grounded. Ukraine are wannabe Russians, more like Russians are wannabe Ukrainians. It's literally the other way around. Their shit sucks so bad, so that's why they have to scarf up all the surrounding countries and territories, which Russia already has done. And also too, we had a lot of like a lot of propaganda in the US around religious stuff that I'm just not with. I'm not drawn to support something based on like religious stuff like a lot of people are. You believe he's missing the SSRI medicine today? John, I'm here to tell you to go fuck yourself. My SSRI medicine. Yeet. Daily meltdowns now? Okay. Well, you don't have to look at them. That was a meltdown? So my explanations are meltdowns. Like when somebody asks me, hey, why do you support Ukraine but not Israel? And then like I give my take, that's a meltdown? Jesus. Can't even explain myself anymore. I guess it's a meltdown.
There's a billionaire, there's a billionaire that supporting the event. His wife is Chinese.
No problem. I'm handing them out today.
Also, Iran is also not a good country, you know. So why I say so? Because we don't know how they can, you know, do something like that.
Still not seeing this 9th salvo come into Tel Aviv yet. Still waiting on that.
The root is the Chinese Communist Party. So all the chaotic things, you know, it's just caused by China.
You'd say I'm pretty calm all the time? Yeah, it sounds like when I start speaking with conviction, it's melting down. They want me to just like not talk. Honestly, they hate it.
You must know, this is a Chinese Communist Party hand behind. They also
USA, please put out your Trumpster fire. Love Canada. I love that.
some chemical products for making a bomb.
Spread the word about Mercado Media, guys. It's the best thing you can do if you really enjoy it over here in the streams.
So all the
You are great to listen. Thank you, Dan.
caused by Chinese Communist Party. This is, you know, the evil thing, you know. So I would suggest people we can.
USA, Canada doesn't want your convicted felon.
Chinese Communist Party evil.
I love that. It's on just like a cardboard box.
The world
Not even just a unfolded cardboard box.
must down with this evil Chinese Communist Party. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
Stay the hell out of Canada.
Okay. We have one more speaker.
You don't agree with everything you said? You don't have to.
Just wanted to
You can clearly see there's tons of people that will watch that don't support a single word I say. They'll watch. They've been watching for over a week. I don't care. I was asked a question and I answered. That's all that is.
fascism arrived.
And I don't have to agree with you either. I support Ukraine. I don't support Israel. That's where I'm at.
This time it's not happening with goose steps and side aisles.
And if that upsets you, then call a counselor. I don't know what I was to tell you. What Obama, right? Speaking of Obama, 13 years ago, the administration acted to protect young people who are American in every single way but one on paper. DACA was an example of how we can be a nation of immigrants and a nation of laws. And is an example worth remembering today when families with similar backgrounds who just want to live, work, and support their families are being demonized and treated as enemies. We can fix our broken immigration system while still recognizing our common humanity and treating each other with dignity and respect. In fact, it's the only way we ever will. And I posted that yesterday. What? Kingsley Wilson, dude. She's a DOD press. She's the DOD press secretary now. Oh, that was an old post? It must be an old post. Yeah, 2024. Proud to be an enemy of globalist Ukraine. Yeah, they're so globalist, the whole world like turned their back. So globalist. Europe is too weak to do anything actually, and the US just abandoned them, so globalist. The president of Ukraine got shit onto his face by the president of the United States in the Oval Office. So globalist. Everyone's sad about the F-14s. What did you do? There's no more. They're all gone. Would you just want to look at them? David, you supported the thing that brought him there. Shut up. We got the camera guy messing with it. Oh, he's messing with this. What is that noise? Jerusalem cam? Oh, it's actually clearing up. Let's add that here. So that's Jerusalem cam. We have that up and we have Tel Aviv. So 2 cameras within Israel. Apparently there's a ninth salvo coming in from Iran. We're still waiting to like see that if possible. I'm not sure though. Okay, he was just moving the camera around. Okay, let's continue. Going through any further updates. You think so? I don't know. I think it was just messing with the camera. I don't think anything was happening. Hold on. Hold on. I'm just, nothing's happening right now. I'm trying to find like good sources that are covering this, that aren't like just watching the stream like this, because this is the best way to do it, honestly. Oh, there you go. There it is. As I was just saying. So there's the air raid alarm going off, and that's Jerusalem, right? Nope, Tel Aviv. So here it is. It's arrived. This is it. the 9th salvo from Iran. So what? How long was that? That's about a 45-minute travel time then? How long was that from when we saw the post to now? Turn up the gain a little bit there. Chat, how it was like about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, almost an hour to travel. Put that on there so you guys can see what it is live. There you go. There goes the Iron Dome system. It's active. Here come the rockets. Oh, that one looked like it failed. That one didn't go off. It went up and went right back down. Other thing I noticed is Israel puts their anti-air defense like right next to the downtown, and you like in Kyiv, you will not find the air defense like in the middle of the most populated parts of Kyiv. Like it's on the outskirts. I never saw it, but like it's not in the downtown area. Can you turn up the audio? I did a little bit more. It's really low. Turn it up more. But it's really low audio right now. Nor is there a tornado near you? No, it's bright and sunny outside right now. Okay, so you had like one air defense rocket go off, but it didn't. I don't know if you're gonna have any more than that here. See what IDF says here. Who's posting the alerts out? Yeah, were you? Okay, here you go. This is just posted. Millions of Israelis are forced to run to shelter following projectile fire from Iran. Where are you getting that, Edmund, for your alerts? What source are you using? This is the IDF just posted this just 10 seconds ago. We heard it, but we didn't. They're looking up in the sky again. Oh, this could work. Let's see what this looks like here for my time. We're looking up in the sky. Please look good. Damn it, it doesn't. Okay, I'm almost there with that though. They're just tuning in. We're watching Tel Aviv. They had an air raid alarm just go off. So we're seeing what's going to happen here. Looked like you had one of the Iron Dome rockets not make it to the sky. What the hell was that? Is that in the Jerusalem feed? Yeah. I have a really good clock I found here. I can do this. Trying to get the time on there. I have no idea which one I used back in the day. Okay, there's a clock there, but it's not the one I want to use. Hear people taking photos. See what the IDF posted. Any info on the next protest? Also, this is awesome. Live on Cover News. Thank you, man. I don't know. I don't know about future protests right now. They're going to continue. Okay, just keep following the channel. They're still likely still protesting. I think they were just protesting last night in Portland still. There will be protests. The next massive nationwide one won't be until like July though. They're happening monthly unless more of these ice raids continue, which it looks like they will. Dude, if I could get this here. Oh, there's more of the... Okay, there's more of the air defense going out. Weekend protests were a big flop. Yeah, if you're coping. If you're lying, you'll say that. We had the biggest protest in the state of Minnesota ever. At our capital. There were more people at the Boise, Idaho protest than the Army parade. Thank you, dead campers. Camera's still looking at the sky. Is Reuters up? I want to play. I can't wait to play more Broken Arrow tonight. No, they're not up yet. That's the stream we watched, and the IDF came and told them to stop showing it. I like that. How about that? Fuck you mean? There you go. There. Is this live? What time is it? I can do better. We can do better than this, but for now, this is what we got. We can do better than that eventually. We'll give you guys that for now. Since we're watching this live right now. Is that good? For now. We'll do better. Big protest, but Trump is still your president. Okay. At least I can admit that. For the past 4 years, we had COPA. Oh, Biden really... Well, he didn't win. Trump really won. It was stolen. There's another Iron Dome system. Yeah, Trump may be a piece of shit fascist. Everything that the critics are saying are true, but he's still your president. He still won. Wow, carry that into the next election. That'll win for you. Hey, remember when Trump won? Okay. Which video? Yup. We're which video? People will still ask. I know. I'm trying to help that though. I'm trying to help that. Yeah, that's the moon there. There was a air defense rocket that went in that area though, so that's why it might look like that. It's still that's the moon though. Here, I'll mark it so you guys aren't looking. That's the moon. Okay, it's not rockets or anything. But there was a air defense rocket that went over there, so it looked like it was for a second. It can be confusing, trust me, especially if you're watching skylines and rockets coming in all night. We're watching Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and it'd be like 3 a.m. You've been watching the feed for like 12 hours. You're just like, what was that? What was that? What was that? So I get it. Tornado threat in Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, there is. Softball isn't canceled. Yeah, I'm seeing that though, but I still have soft. We're under a tornado watch. We'll see what happens. I want to play though. Yeah, I haven't played softball in like 4 weeks. You thought I hurt my shoulder? It was just a weak thing. I just slept on it wrong. I haven't played in like a month and a half now. One's Jerusalem though. I'll tell you when we switch over to the Jerusalem feed. No softball and tornado watches. We played in the lightning a few weeks ago. It was like lightning and all types of stuff when we were still out there. It was crazy. See what the IDF said quick. Yeah, that's the last tweet from 11 minutes ago. If that was the 9th wave, it wasn't. Israel's able to stop it for now. And a hailstorm, shouldn't it make it harder for the ball? It's just extra added challenges. They are hitting the Negev desert. Which Iranian account are you looking at for all that? Is it the military one that we have? But it looks like they're posting memes. They didn't post anything about the strikes. They posted that they were imminent. And they said Iraqis were showing the rockets head there. They were showing their drones go off. Operation True Promise 3. 9th wave of it. That was an hour ago. We have a live look in Tel Aviv, you guys, from Associated Press, and you also have one in Jerusalem for feeds of what's happening, and that's probably the best way to, like I said, to track what is going on, because a lot of the social media posts and updates will be not good. Not good. Ryan Macbeth suggested those were not parade troops and not practice. We don't have... Ryan Macbeth, I love his work with drones and like his technology knowledge. He's been frustrating me lately. There's there's no we don't train for parades anyways. Okay, we do drill and ceremony for the commander, and like we train for that to like look good for the command. But like that's temporary, and then we go back to our job. Because in the army, your job is more important than being a show pony. It's not the same way in like China and I don't know. China's military has some capabilities, but they really ironically, Iran, Russia, North Korea, they do really good marches and shows, don't they? In terms of like, they can parade around. Not the best military though, right? It was a bad idea. Those troops were set up to fail by the administration for having them go there for that. We're live in Tel Aviv right now. This is the live coverage. Tracking some various... We got an air raid alarm that went off like 10 minutes ago. We had a 9th wave of Operation True Promise 3 from Iran. Oops, let's go back to the live feed, sorry. Israel's operation is called Operation Rising Lion. Put in the comments where you guys are tuned in from. Put in the chat where you're watching from. Went through some various G7 postings. Twitch, it's good to see all you guys over there. Mercado, what do you think about Iran? Did Iran can attack? I mean, Iran's responding to Israel's attacks. It's like this is how it goes. This happens. I swear this happens every year. It happened last year for sure, and the year before that. What up, Spokane? How's the protests still going there? We were checking them out this week. Columbiaville, Michigan, Australia, Omaha, Nebraska. Flooded Fairmount. Actually, don't dox yourself. You're going to dox yourself in a chat saying where you can write wherever you want. People write, I'm watching from North Korea in the chat. Portland, Oregon, good to have you. New York City. You have free YouTube on right now. Every ad until I blocked was the operation. Wait, they have ads for it? There's ads? What up, Kenosha? From Kansas City area. That's a camera again in Jerusalem by the wall. What up, Melbourne? San Antonio, Texas. Good to have you. You're watching from Tehran? I don't think we have any feeds of Tehran up right now. Hello, Catherine. Just got here. What's your opinion on whether parade soldiers were instructed to march so poorly? No. It's just the army doesn't know how to march. We don't do that. Always sucked. It's always been bad. You could be on point as hell and then like 4 soldiers that will just refuse. And like they'll like walk, or they don't know where to put their arms with their legs, so they march like this. You wanna be in a branch that does care about all that? Join the Marines. If you wanted a good looking like event like that, you would have chose the Marine Corps, because the Army is not fucking march. Even then, I don't know how. Yeah, the Marines would probably look better, but even then, you'd probably have some Marines that aren't like 100%, other than like the actual like drill teams. Ain't that hard to march? You think so? Till you're in a formation doing it. You got to stay covered down, and you got to stay behind the person. People don't know how to dress right or anything. You could be in the military forever and they still don't know how to dress right and cover down. We're not affiliated with our channel. You're just used to seeing Marines, probably. They know how to march. I think that's the only branch too, because the Air Force sure can't. Neither can the Navy. Well, yeah, it'd be the Marines for marching. A big emphasis of their training though is on that and drill and ceremony. A giant portion of it, because it goes into like their discipline. Whereas we don't really do. We spend like maybe a few days on drill and ceremony, like a week honestly, on drill and ceremony in the Army and basic training. And you're just like expected to do it after that, but they're not until like BLC, or well, it used to be called Warrior Leadership Course, or like BNOC before that. Then you have to like care about drill and ceremony again, because you're becoming a sergeant and they're gonna grade you on it, and then you don't have to care again. You just had hip surgery. You're not supposed to be out doing stuff yet, but this is too big to sit down. Just be careful out there. Wear your brace at least. I started covering the protests right after a knee surgery, in 2020. So I still had my full cast on my knee, or not a cast. I had a full brace, like the full one on my knee. That was my PT. It was like walking around with the marches. I still probably didn't PT it properly and probably screwed, but when I get older. Yeah, just tuning in. We're tracking the exchange of rocket fire between Iran and Israel. We already had a air raid alarm go off. IDF posted millions of Israelis are forced to run to shelter. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at. See what Iran posted with it. Nothing new from the Iranian military account. Who else is posting? Who was posting updates on Twitter about it? What up, Racine? Good to have you. Hello, everybody on Facebook. There are already 25 ships hanging out, intercepting already. USS Limits. No, Nimitz. I don't think it's What is the U.S. Navy? Israel. Let's see. Nimitz. Someone put limits. No limits. U.S. deploys aircraft carrier USS Nimitz over Iran-Israel conflict. It departed the South China Sea this morning. Okay. At the same time, over 30 U.S. Air Force air refueling tankers took off from American bases heading east across the Atlantic. Officials have described some of these movements as routine or related to NATO exercises in Europe. Okay. So you got U.S. military assets repositioning. The Nimitz. Yeah, anyone in that like that parade is a cuck. Like, there's nothing else to say about it. Let's see what it is. Okay, is there a better video? Life inside the USS Nimitz.
Welcome to the USS Nimitz class aircraft carrier, one of the largest and most impressive warships in the world. This city at sea towers 20 stories above the water and stretches over 1,000 feet long. But the size of this ship is not the only thing that's awe-inspiring. When the crew is in full swing, it can launch or land a plane every 25 seconds, all in a fraction of the space available on a typical landing strip. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier is home to over 5,000 personnel, including sailors, officers, and pilots. The crew is supported by a team of 114 cooks who work around the clock to provide the crew with fresh and nutritious meals. Life aboard an aircraft carrier is undoubtedly tough and exhausting. Sailors are responsible for a wide range of tasks, and they often work long hours in challenging conditions. Another challenge is the limited space and privacy available. The ship is crowded with personnel and equipment, and sailors may have to share small, cramped living quarters with several other people. There's also limited downtime and opportunities for leisure activities, as the ship is always on the move and sailors are often busy with their duties. Additionally, sailors on an aircraft carrier may face challenges related to being away from home and their loved ones for extended periods of time. Deployments can last for several months, and sailors may not have regular.
Is there a different video? USS Nimitz. This thing's old, ain't it?
Fair winds and following.
It's on its final deployment. So it got rerouted to somewhere, probably the Mediterranean. Is there like a non-cringe video? $8.5 billion USS Nimitz class aircraft carrier.
In the heart of the world's oceans, where the horizon meets the sky, lies a floating vessel that defies imagination. Welcome to the USS Nimitz class aircraft carrier, regarded as one of the largest and most impressive warships in the world. This is not just a ship. It's a floating city tower and a self-contained vessel where thousands of sailors live, work, and serve on the front lines of global security. But within the confined spaces of this floating vessel, how is life sustained and combat readiness maintained? How do the sailors and aviators overcome the challenges of isolation?
Couldn't do it. Couldn't serve in the Navy. Nope. Nope. Look at that living space, bro.
How do the sailors and
hell nah, bro.
Aviators overcome the...
Nope. 10 toes down on the ground. I'd rather take a cot. I'd rather literally sleep in a cot with 50 other people, and it's like smells bad and everything over that. Nope.
Challenges of isolation, constant motion, and the ever-present dangers that come with operating a city-sized warship in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, so it's like a older version. Is it like our... It's an old one, right? Whereas we had the new Navy super carrier that was in the Mediterranean last year. You don't remember the name of that one?
Join us as we take an exclusive look inside the USS Nimitz class aircraft carrier. 40 miles per hour, carriers boast the capability to traverse oceans swiftly.
Or is that carrier even bigger than this
mega
one?
Aircraft carriers, comprising nearly 1 billion components, stand as marvels of engineering. Despite their intricate nature, their fundamental principles are pretty straightforward. These vessels are built to execute 4 essential functions.
Andrew, you make a good point, combat soldiers, but it's curious to me how every last soldier made absolutely no effort. No one was proud, and because our soldiers are not bots. They're real people. Okay, it's like not they're actual real humans. So no one wanted to be there. They were paid nothing to go parade on Pennsylvania Avenue. They slept in a cot for 4 days in Washington, D.C. It was raining. No one was there. And why would you have motivation for that? Like, other than the fake shit you got to put on. So Jerusalem's gone. Yeah, you saw they didn't care because why would you? It's just a lot of soldiers, like, they're going to be themselves, and they don't understand, like, that Trump is using it for political things, and so people are seeing that too, and they're seeing, oh wow, America's military doesn't care. Oh, they're probably, honestly, they all got lit up when they got back to their units, and like their other commanders are probably fucked all of them up for marching like that and shit. But I mean, it is what it is. We would want to be there and do that. Nobody. The Army's birthday, when you celebrate the Army birthday, dude, you know what you do? You go for a post run. You don't go to Washington, D.C. and parade around for the president. So like in Alaska, when I was stationed there, the Army birthday is every year. And every year they do a thing for it in terms of your chain of command. So at Fort Wainwright, Alaska, we did a post run. Because I was only like home for like 2 years of the time I was there because we were deployed. So the general and the sergeant major that was in charge of the base in Alaska, I think the Alaska commander was there too. So even our base's boss was there. So we had like some high-ranking generals. No politicians, no bullshit. It was just like the whole base, and we were all in the airfield in Fort Wainwright. I'll show you here. So, and we all had our own spot. So our unit, let me try to find this here. Fort Wainwright. Yeah, where's the base? There's the airfield. So we took up the whole airfield, and we were all here. We were all in our formations here on this airfield, and even some over here too. And you know what we did? We ran around it like twice with the general of the Alaska and the general of the base. Hold on. Okay, and we like and it took forever to get out there, and then we marched around, we ran around this thing. We ran around it twice. The whole base. So like you're in your unit, our company was an all one. We had everyone had their company flag, and it's like an army thing, army stuff, internal army stuff. You do chants or you do your cadences, and everyone, you try to be louder than the other units. It's all a bunch of cringe army shit. That's only cool when you're in the army because you don't get it. So then like you'd be running, and then you go try to take while you're running, you go try to take the other unit's flags. I did that. So me and the other guy, we were good at running, and there's a unit behind us, and kind of like in just fun army shit because after we were done with the run, we got to go home. And that's how soldiers want it. Like you don't want to be at work. So you did the run, only essential maintenance people at our unit needed to go and stay at the thing or whatever. The rest of us went home for the day, and that was a much better day to celebrate the Army's birthday. But we would go and run and grab the other unit's flags because like you had the flag bearer, and the flag bearer gets tired because you're carrying a fucking giant stupid flag and you got to run at the same time. So you do is you sneak behind them and you act like you're in their unit. You go, hey, I'll take that for you. Yeet, and then you go back to your unit, and then by the time we were done with the run, we had like 3 units flags, and it was hilarious because we were not a combat unit, and the other units we took their flags from were getting smoked because one of them was the 124 infantry, and then we took a cav unit. I can't remember exactly what cav unit's flag we took, but we took theirs too, and it was the best. I'm taking your shit. You're running in the army, you never let your flag, especially in basic training. We'd go and take other units' flags too and do that. Once we started doing that, our freaking drill sergeant loved us because we were like, he saw us do shit like that and he loved it. Beef, it is what it is. You shouldn't have given up your flag. Gotta put security on your flag, dude. You're gonna take that shit. Well, that's why I first learned about the thievery of the flagging, or the flags, was in basic training, because we took the other unit stuff, or the other company's flags. They were not happy. Not our problem. Shouldn't have had it outside. Should secure your company flag. So anyways, that's how you actually celebrate the Army birthday. Not go and march around for Trump and the president. That's cringe. You do a post run or a big, stupid big run. You get all motivated for running. And then you go home for the day. You get a zonk after. And yes, the USARAC commander, so the general of the Alaska, zonked us. So we were done. The day was over. Goodbye. Whoever's around still, you're fucked. You better get out of there quick. You hear the word zonk, nothing else matters. You're gone. Go home. It was the 250th though. I don't give a flying fuck. I don't care if it was the 300th. Who gives a shit? Wow. Okay, so 250th birthday, soldiers should have had a 2-day weekend or something, 3-day weekend. Or extra. I mean, like Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 2 extra days or something. When I celebrate the 250th birthday, give the troops an extra day off. Give them more money. 250th birthday, here's a pay raise. I don't know, something that's not stupid. You said Iran is obviously going to use disinformation. Yep. Israel does too, though. The only thing that you can see for facts are these live streams of the skyline and rockets coming in and out. Then when that happens, everything else is a lot of memes and postings. But there's a feed of, I don't think, there's no feed of Tehran up right now, but Tehran sometimes will have a live feed up and you can see that skyline. Like I gotta find that picture. Hold on. Yeah. Where's the... No, I gotta find the... I gotta find that meme here. There you go. Iran claims it captured an F-35. So this is what we're working with in terms of the OSINT information that's coming in. Okay. This is the levels of shit we're dealing with here. That's why I'm telling you, like, unless it's live in their sky, then I don't know. Wait for more. Super Titan Israelis apparently. The F-35. That's crazy. So, yep. It's super AI. Iran releases a photo of a new down to F-35. It's... Oh boy. Yeah, that's not okay. What the fuck, bro? We shot down Israeli F-35. It's not what would happen if an F-35 blew up. Okay. So yeah, so I'm telling you, just be mindful that at least 95% of the conflict on X especially will be garbage. At least 95%. So good luck. Truly. Wait till the Arma 3 combat footage comes out. Has that been a thing yet? You see a lot of Arma 3 footage in this fight. That's maybe what started playing Reforger, was seeing all the Arma war footage. Like, damn, I want to check it out myself. Over the weekend, I directed deployment of additional capabilities to the United States Central Command Area of Responsibility, protecting U.S. Oh boy. So you got troop movements, you got the Navy moving. Guys, what's the level, what's the percentage of another U.S. actual involvement war here? That's why if you like we're against Ukraine and supporting Ukraine, you're going to see how cringe you were. Because if you were saying we're directly supporting like no new wars, and we were not on the ground in Ukraine. No U.S. troops went to Ukraine. Zero. Not a single one. And you're going to have U.S. troops moving here, but your cope is going to be, well, it's to defeat the terrorists. Russians are terrorists. But they get to do what they want, apparently, and it's a fake war, and supporting Ukraine is bad, and no new wars. Biden's war. Or whatever. And then here, like, actual U.S. troops will be moving here. Which was just posted for about a half hour ago. Let's not forget that Hillary and Obama are so they're cleaning up Obama's mess. This is Obama. Hillary and Obama, guys. Watch. Ukraine will become Biden's war, and then the Middle East will be Obama's war. And then Trump, that's how Trump will get out of like the direct involvement of himself in the administration. That's where we're at in the United States right now, guys. With it all, Trump shouldn't perpetuate Biden's war. Thank you for repeating what I said. I know. Oh boy, Bush there were no other presidents other than Trump and a bunch of Democrats, guys. Bush was never president. We didn't have anyone else. According to MAGA. Okay. Okay, so troop movements as well. If you fall for this, you should be lobotomized and study. They already need to be. All they did was take an iPhone and put this on the back. This is an iPhone. This is an actual iPhone. This doesn't even look like the phone on their website. Look at that. What in the AI? That looks AI generated, doesn't it? A new way to wireless is here. Join Trump Mobile today and get more from your wireless service. Don't worry, America First Curry for USA is about it. What is the website to sign up and order the phone? I'm trying to get it now. I'm getting it. Need it. This app sucks so hard, dude. Back when Russia invaded Ukraine, we used Twitter nonstop for like months. Geolocating tweets that match with maps that were accurate, videos every day, all day, just an abundance of like everything. This one's gonna suck. If you're like I need information of what's happening to Israel, good luck. This is it. This is the info. This is, you're watching it, truly, honestly. That's why Steve from Agenda Free has this up, because this is the best. This is it. There is nothing else that's really reliable. Busy night for air alerts in Ukraine. Any news from there while we wait for Iran to do something? Got explosions reported in Kyiv. Another 1,200 troop losses. And gain some further ground in Sumy. Pokrovsk is becoming a pocket. Same with Kostyanivka. Not much positive to say, to be honest. When it comes to the situation on the front lines in Ukraine, you got a Russian offensive taking place, with different varying reports of how successful they are. Ukraine moves forward on lithium mining under U.S. minerals deal, and you're getting nothing in return for it. Russia ramps up its summer offensive in several directions, seeks to encircle. That's what we're looking like. That's what it's looking like. Yeah, larger encirclement here. They're just taking, it'll still be months though, because they haven't finished, they've almost finished occupying Chasiv Yar. You got like a little bit left of Chasiv Yar, but you got a half circle right here already around Kostyanivka. Still will take through the summer to get anywhere near it, but probably button all this up here, finish Toretsk and Chasiv Yar. And then the only thing left will be a few line villages before Kostyanivka, which I've been to many times. Well, 5 times. Well, not many, but like when I went to Ukraine. Went through there multiple times. Then you also have not as big of a pocket, but it's still forming a pocket around Pokrovsk and Leningrad. Russia ramps up its summer offensive in several directions. Ukraine's military says Ukraine receives 1,245 bodies of fallen soldiers and citizens, concluding a simple reparation deal. Russians lie about everything. Ukraine hits out Kremlin claims after yet another drone strike on Kyiv. Yeah, you already had like, so I would pay attention to like the Kyiv Independent or the actual, like the study of war. Don't go to accounts like David for information about Ukraine anymore. Because he's got like a big following. And he posts like the worst information at all times. And memes. I saw him post earlier today, and it like went on my timeline viral for it. Now it's impeachment time for David. It wasn't before the election, though. You still had hope that Trump would be good for Ukraine and help Ukraine. Beware of people that make Ukraine's war Israel's war too, as if like what happens to Iran will actually help. Like that's cooked. The only thing that will help Ukraine is defeat of Russia. Weakening Iran. Well, like Russia has been using North Koreans. They want to have the drones, but Russia's been using their own cabs and other capabilities besides the Shaheds and North Koreans. So if you're like, well, the Israeli strikes on Iran, good for Ukraine, it's like, okay, 9 degrees away from that, but retweeting Lord Bebo, bro. Why do any Ukrainian accounts even follow this? Are you actually joking? Oh my god, dude. Retweeting Lord Bebo. What the fuck? I can't find his freaking tweet. the fuck? I can't even, I think he might have deleted it. He deleted the post, saying that the Russians were not actually advancing. And that's just as bad. Like, if you have people that are like on the side of Ukraine and they're just posting lies, even if it's like to own the Russians or whatever, that's just as bad. Using lies and propaganda for lies to counter the lies is not it. And it never has been. And it's always pissed me off. Okay, 40 minutes ago, we target, they attack, simple as that. Yeah, I don't know, the strikes the other night from Iran were targeting right where the air defense was. Like, that's where they were going. Because we saw the air defense go off, and then the Iranian missiles were coming, like, right at it. That's what I've seen. That's what I've seen gone on here. Who's projecting what? Beware of anyone who distracts from the Ukraine war. It's gonna be more like beware of people who don't include it. Like, it's not, the Russia's invasion of Ukraine is not the only story to pay attention to. Pay attention, people ignore it completely. I'm talking like, you can't only focus on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Especially now that the U.S. has abandoned it, and serious support to Ukraine won't happen now for the foreseeable future. So it's important to keep tracking it, but there's the attention of everyone's attention is on what we're looking at here, or the protests in the U.S., or the protests against Trump. You know, you're on the wrong side of the history when you can't debate. What are we talking about? Came for liberal tears, but Mark isn't man enough to talk about it. You were talking specifically to me. So the incoming wasn't air? No, there wasn't incoming. It didn't look like anything significant, though. It came and left. Mark doesn't want to talk about the fact that No King's murder destroys the left's narrative on so many levels. The No King's murder. Do you know any vets that are fighting in Ukraine? Yep. Should we get him in the Discord? If you're really about it, we can do what Hutch does, and you can call in on Discord. Might make this skyline viewing interesting. I can't do this for much longer, though, guys, because I got to get to softball, so maybe like another hour. Lots going on in Tehran. Where are you? Is there a feed of Tehran up? I'd pull it up. Yeah, like garbage feeds. It's all terrible. No, that's bad. No. Where are you seeing Iran? Uh, 619, debate me on Discord. Call in. We'll wait. What the fuck? No, that's the lobby music. The Independence live too. So you got a couple angles here. That's much better. That's much better for audio. Coming out of both ears. $619. Everyone's waiting. I'm gonna switch my laundry. We're all waiting though. You're just waiting. You missed something. There was a retaliatory strike from Iran that came in, but nothing further. We're still waiting for it. Are you admitting that you're being a big pussy, 619 donor? Is that what we're doing? Are you? So you call me out, and then now you're too pussy to do it. If you have your public info on your Discord, that is a personal problem. Damn, MAGA, is this your best? Yeah, it's gonna be. It sounds from the sky. It's like generators. I can turn that down a little bit so it's a little less. How about that? A little less. Come on, there's tons of MAGA that call into Hutch, that call into Destiny's channel, stream. They have way bigger viewers than this. People, MAGA's calling to Destiny stream. He has like 8,000 people watching him every day. They're a little braver than you. I know, it's scary. I know. It's scary. It's intimidating because you probably were like, didn't expect this, but you're the one that called me out. Oh no, I didn't expect him to be. Oh God. Didn't expect to get this far. We'll just keep it open no matter what. How about that? Anyone. Doesn't have to just be 619. I talk tough talk as good as Newsom. Have you ever noticed that their only comparisons are to politicians? They don't have like anyone else or like any other like pop culture roast to give. It's always like, you sound like Nancy Pelosi. You're CNN. You don't have any other things to roast me? You are the thing I heard from Gutfeld on Fox News because I don't have any other things to say. Jesse Waters gave me this one. I'm going to use this. So I heard you say that Minnesota had its largest cringe fest. Did you get your face painted and overuse the word fascist like a teenager too? Who gets their face painted? Why don't you hop in the Discord and you can ask me? Listen, MAGA, I don't want to hear shit from you. This is it. This is the day. This is the day. June 16th, 2025. I don't, MAGA, unless you can confront me with your words and not your little shaky voice and be scared, you can hop into the Discord and talk about it. I don't want to hear shit else. I'm probably not going to read their comments anymore. If you disagree, you can hop into the Discord and we'll battle it out for everyone. I want to hear your comments in the chat. New rule. I'll put it on the screen. I'll get a graphic for the screen, just like you see Hutch and them do. Hey, what up, Bubsy? You're going to the front. You're going to the trenches of YouTube. Thank you. Hit me up 38 for the Prime subscription. Said the world was much calmer during the Enforcer beef wars of 2020. Jesus. More like 2022. It really kicked off in 2023 though. It's funny because those videos I made about it are still getting views and people are still leaving comments. So like, I should have done that from the beginning. I should have just made videos about it and it would have probably ended sooner. Damn, 619 tapped out, huh, chat? Vehicles. It's been fun. Pulled up pictures of Nigel Farage and Medvedev. I see they look like they do look alike, don't they? Nigel Farage and Medvedev do look pretty identical. I will say that. Thank you to everybody that subscribed today. We have a lot of new subscribers to the channel today. I'll do this every day and hang out, I guess, this week. We'll have other news updates to cover throughout the week too, but I'll sit here and Skyline watch with you guys. I'll do that. Tel Aviv Skyline streams. I think that's what we'll do this week. We'll watch the Skyline, then we get the actual, like, we'll hear the air raid alarms go off so we can verify if Tel Aviv or Tehran are being targeted. And then we'll know. And then we'll browse through the other news, like, during this. That's what we'll do this week. You support tanning beds, we support hospital beds. What does that mean? What are your thoughts on it all? I feel like Israel's trying to continue to expand the war beyond their own operation in Gaza. Drag the U.S. in because they want to ethnically cleanse the Palestine and continue because Netanyahu's political party, the Likud, along with Zionists, want imperialist expansion of Israel, and they've talked about it over and over and over and over again. But also can't, I don't support the Iranian proxies either. So it's like, if Iranian proxies get defeated, it's like, okay. But also, I mean, Israel's launched the strikes in Tehran first here. Not like first overall. This has been going on forever. But in terms of like this Operation Rising Lion, and then what you're seeing here in this week, in this window, Israel struck Tehran, and now Iran's responding. Or back and forth, I guess, because Israel's also striking Tehran more and striking their nuclear enrichment, uranium enrichment sites around Iran. So no, I don't have a full historical take of it all, but in terms of what we're looking at right now and this week. You have to go make a special... I'm not talking at you in the chat. You can talk to me on the Discord. Gotta go make a special account. Super special account, special Discord operation. What did you think of Trump's military parade? Terrible. Do you think the soldiers marched poorly on purpose or out of protest? Like I've said, the army just does not march. We don't do that. We don't do it for show. Nobody wants to do it anyway. So it's probably a combination of lack of motivation, lack of drill and ceremony time. It was raining. And yeah, it was probably a combination of a lot of things. Hello, what up, Superfly Vibrations? Good to see you. Trump just posted to evacuate Tehran. Trump on Truth Social. "8 minutes ago, Iran should have signed the deal I told them to sign. What a shame and waste of human life." Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Why is deal in quote? And what? So, we're not involved. We're not involved in this at all, but yet Trump is like posting threats directly to Iran. Is this the president of peace? The peacetime, no wars, no new wars? Everyone should evacuate the capital of Iran right now. No new wars. You think they're gonna? Do you think Israel's gonna take out Ayatollah here? You haven't had any wars under Trump. You're an idiot. You are an actual idiot. Yeah, Trump is president right now, and you're seeing Iran and Israel exchange missiles, and you're still gonna say that, unless you're memeing, and then that's fine. Unless you're just joking. Okay, Netanyahu's a fascist too. So should he, the same thing should happen to him then too, right? You ever heard Netanyahu's political party like talk in Hebrew, and then you watch and then you read the translations of what they say? Ben Gavir, dude, is Jesus. Iran wants to exterminate all the Jews. Okay, and the Jews want to exterminate all of the Israel, like they want to exterminate all of the Arabs. Like, okay, they want to exterminate each other. And no, you gotta be sympathetic. I already told you, I'm not in this. I have no side. I stand with the Palestinian people. And the people that are not involved in like the war part, but that's about it. I hate Jews, it's obvious. I don't hate anyone except for like MAGA, actually. And Russians. Criticizing Netanyahu, is that anti-Semitic? Are you one of those? Can't criticize Netanyahu, Likud, or the Zionists, or you're anti-Semitic. Damn it. I'm a fascist bootlicker. You are projecting a lot of feelings right now onto me. You have a lot of pent-up feelings that you need to get out. I don't know if this is the place. Sounds like a Trump parade. Tucker says Bibi is a fascist 100%. He's a national hero, and that's why he's always popular, I think. I don't know if you know his background. Yeah, I'll look into it loosely. This is Tel Aviv. It's on the screen. 619 should be banned from chat for instigating shit and refusing to back it up. You know what? I'm not disagreeing with that. 619 is starting shit in chat, called out me, and then is still doing shit. I think that's... I don't know why we'd want that around. One thing to spew your shit, but then to call me out personally, and then I'm like, okay, what's up? And then you back out, and now you're still doing it. You're being a nuisance. Being a nuisance. Stop, bro. You're making South Dakota look bad. No. No. Okay, well, the chat has spoken. The chat has spoken. Be gone. Get out of here. Thanks for stopping by. Gave him plenty of time to join, and he said he was changing his name and was worried about doxing. And yeah, I'm not gonna dox you. If you put your full, like, I have my full name in Discord because I'm like a public person. If you're not a public person, then you should probably not have your name in your Discord and use a username instead. Too many excuses. You already had it blocked? I think they were talking about BB's popularity within within Israel, not like worldwide. I think that's what the chatter was talking about. See if the IDF posts anything new yet. Okay. Nothing new other than they're trying to post the difference between attacking and targeting. And then you got Trump saying that everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Yeah. I'm just going to retweet Preston Stewart. I don't feel like cropping it. Yeah. Don't feel like cropping it. I'll just post Preston Stewart. Good. That dude, he's such a piece of shit. Like, Mike Lee is such a fucking loser. Confronted him for his postings. Tina Smith just chased down Senator Mike Lee, who tweeted multiple times in recent days that Democrats are literally. That's what you need to do. Confront them, actually. They're pussies. They're only talk tough online, guys. Remember that. I proved that yesterday. They're talk tough online only. In person, they're nothing. Nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be worried about in person. Except for obviously when there's a lot of them and they're in like Proud Boy groups. Like, yeah, don't go near those. Because they're going to commit domestic terrorism and they're like armed and shit. But like when they're just out here like some lazy ass Mike Lee, or they come to a protest and like try to troll, they're nothing. Why is the guy who killed a politician in Minnesota not charged with first-degree murder? Because you have to have a grand jury for that in Minnesota. You need a grand jury in Minnesota to get first-degree murder. Which, but obviously it was premeditated. Like that's what they're gonna try to upgrade the charges. They're gonna try to move it to federal, which could worry me because then obviously Cheeto Man could try to do something. Rubio reposted it. Yep. U.S.-Iran war for Israel, guys. Who's excited? And then all of us that are going to speak out against this will be labeled anti-American communists, and then maybe we'll get to go on a field trip to El Salvador together. It'll be like Vietnam again. Oops, I'm going too fast. Oh boy. This website's so bad. So is the U.S. about to attack Tehran? I'm not sure. I don't know if we got Taco out here or what. But we got troops moving. And you have the USS Nimitz. But I'm not too like moved by this because we've had super carriers in the Mediterranean before. Well, this is like directly that was like to help with the humanitarian efforts and also repel Hezbollah, but this is more directly at Iran, so I'm not sure yet. Not sure yet here. I guess we got to see how that plays out. What the hell is going to happen in Tehran? The moment Trump ripped up the Iran deal, this was inevitable. Exactly. You've been on the Nimitz before? It's massive. Yeah, that's why we watched a piece on it on YouTube. It's this is its last deployment. So would the Nimitz be considered like an OG supercarrier then? Like we obviously have more modern. The one that Chowda Hill was on. Can't remember the name of that one. Did not serve in the Navy, so I don't know a whole lot about ships. Yes. He was the captain of the shit. What's the supercarrier he's a captain of? Was it the USS the Truman Carrier Strike Group? Yeah, he was the captain of the supercarrier. Yeah. USS Harry S. Truman. Mercado served chili in the reserves. Chili. If you knew what you're talking about, you would have said chili mac, but you don't. We don't just eat chili. There's macaroni in there too, dumbass. And onion pieces too. See if anything new from the IDF. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's like if you're really hungry, it's fine. Guys, you don't know, bro. You get hungry in the military. Like, you get hungry. So, like, that warm chili mac will actually sound decent after a long ruck march or something. Something stupid you're doing. Or it's better than an MRE, because it's like at least it was handcrafted or made at the chow hall. Put together. Than the MRE. MRE is like, I'll eat the snacks, I'll deal with it, but like, after like a month of eating MREs, you just get over it. You're like, I just want to eat something else. So the chili mac will like be fine for that. Evacuating Tehran is a crazy tweet. I'm still trying to see what's going to happen with that here. Everyone needs to evacuate Tehran is what the president just put out if you're just tuning in. So we watched one salvo. It wasn't even really. Maybe not even 10 rockets from Iran came in hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago-ish. Air raid alarm went off. We're still tracking the postings. I do have softball tonight, guys, and I'm going. I'm not skipping it this week. But we'll be live with this all week, all right? My regular schedule is Monday through Friday. Obviously, breaking news like this and the protests will override stuff, and we'll just be live. But I'll be covering this all week, as well as tuning into what else is going on, too, while we're watching this. Do you have to refer to him as the You can call him whatever you want. I don't care. Yeah, we have late games tonight, so I don't have to leave for a little bit. First game's at 8:15. You guys want to watch later? I stream my games. You guys want to watch later on? Here's the channel. You can watch us play softball while you're watching the Skyline on Agenda Free. Here's the channel if you want to hear softball channel. I'm not leaving right now, but when it's time. Are protests still going? Yep. There's still protests. I just, at this point, like, it's tough to cover those all the time because the feed will be filled with, I'm just being serious. I mean, unless you don't care, but I have a community here and I need support for my own stuff. And a lot of the people that will like watch protests after they're kind of like not like for example, if you're just gonna watch Portland protests all the time, that a lot of that audience is not the type of audience you want. Not like that are sympathetic to the cause against ICE, but in terms of like they want to watch the protesters get gassed. Like they're not watching because of the interest in like the anti-Trump protest. They're trying to watch for like the flashbangs and the tear gas, and like they're waiting for that. And I've learned that it's a content strategy, and you can do that and you'll grow, but the type of people that stick around will not follow you later if you like go against the grain, if that makes sense. Like if you start speaking your mind, they'll be like, just show the flashbang. Show the tear gas. I don't care what you have to say. And that's tough for someone that, like, I go with my own independent journalism too, so I've learned. Softball is for guys that can't play and go to bars and make fools of themselves. Yeah, yeah, okay. Maybe in a beer league. Everybody that says that's never played like competitive softball. Which, yeah, still you're being thrown an underhand ball, whatever. But like, Try taking a ground ball from someone that actually knows how to hit a softball at third base or second base. Try doing that. I bet you won't. I bet you won't be able to. Unless maybe you were like really gifted in baseball and you played shortstop in baseball, you'd probably be okay. But even then, like you're like 30 feet closer and the ball is coming so hard. It's not easy to field. And yes, it can be easy to hit home runs these days too, but you're limited on those. So if you just go up there and jack home runs, like you can't do that the whole game because then you'll start being an out. So you have to actually learn how to hit the ball in the field, which a lot of people can't do. They'll sky up, like they'll try to hit the ball and like it'll just go right up to the pitcher. Play hardball. What does that mean? What is hardball? It's not a sport. I played baseball until I can't because I can't pitch in baseball because of my shoulder. And plus I'm 31. I don't want to run 90 feet. I don't want to do that. And like I've just like baseball for me was like a time. Like I want to play a game where I can chill and hit the ball as hard as possible. I don't want to try to hit a fucking curveball and then face someone that can throw maybe 80 miles an hour. But still, that's still like I'm 31. I'm not trying to play baseball, dude. You try running base paths as an adult after not playing baseball forever, it's not fun. It's a lot of running. Play with rocks. We'll be ready. Join John Sweeney. What? John Sweeney? What? Where? What happened? He hasn't made a post. He hasn't done a video in a long time. June 10th? What do you mean? Kyiv got ham. This is from June 10th. We haven't heard from him in a while. Oh, he's not really posting. He's not making videos. Lots of white people on the softball team. Yeah, there's a lot of white people that play softball. Wow. You're cracking the code. And I live in Minnesota. It'd be different if I lived in like the South, probably. I should take you guys to the BSC, Black Softball Circuit. Talk about a lot of, bro. You can only have 1 or 2 white people on your team in the BSC. I think it's 2. That's in Ohio. Bro, talk about some softball. Jesus. You gotta be a pro to play in that league. Even they have a 40+ tournament at the BSC too, and it is like everyone looks like they played baseball. It's like the best softball you can see. That or the U-Trip tournament or the Suncoast Worlds in Florida. Got a NATO exercise in Finland? Oh yeah. People actually complaining you play softball. They're mad I'm touching the grass. I know. They're mad I'm like I play sports. Like I'm gonna go out at 31 years old when my job is to be a journalist and stream video games to go and play like football or something. Or even play sports. Who else do you know as a streamer who plays fucking sports? Like maybe if you watch sports stuff. I'm gonna be the first political streamer, independent journalist that also touches grass. I'll do it. Nothing new from Marco Rubio or Trump other than evacuation of Tehran. Right now, I'm looking for any more details on a top staffer. Tina Smith emailed Mike Lee's top staffers on Monday about how much additional pain you've caused unspeakably. Because of Mike Lee's dumb fuck posts, and then all of his stupid base will regurgitate it. I knew Melissa Hortman. Many people in this office did. She was a longtime friend of Senator Smith's, who had seen her hours before she was murdered. So you'll forgive my candor as I speak through enormous grief. It is important for your office to know how much additional pain you've caused in an unspeakably horrific weekend. I'm not sure what compelled you or your boss to say any of those things, in which, in addition to being unconscionable, also may very well be untrue, but that is not the point. Why would you see the awesome power of the United States Senate office to compound people's grief? Is this how your team measures success? Using the office of U.S. Senator to not just post just a series of jokes about the assassination? Is that a successful day of work on Team Lee? Did you come into the office Monday and feel proud of the work you did over the weekend? Let's recap Saturday so you fully understand what Minnesota was going through. Melissa Hortman and her husband were murdered. Senator Hoffman and his wife were shot numerous times and remain hospitalized. By the grace of God, it appears they will survive. Senators are discovered to be on a hit list of an armed man on the run. Senator Lee's colleagues, and the decision of the office of Senator Mike Lee was not to publicly condemn the violence, but to make jokes and imitate that Melissa and Mark somehow deserve this by making jokes. Did you have any consideration for the survivors and her family, for the Hoffmans in the hospital, for their families? You exploited the murder of a lifetime public servant and her husband to post some sick burns about Democrats. Did you see this as an excellent opportunity to get likes and retweet? Have you absolutely no conscience, no decency? I pray to God that none of you ever go through anything like this. I pray that Senator Lee and your office begin to see the people you work with in this building as colleagues and human beings. And I pray that if, God forbid, you ever find yourselves having to deal with anything similar, you find yourself on the receiving end of the kind of grace and compassion that Senator Mike Lee could not muster. Lastly, I suggest that you take a few minutes today to read about Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark. They were remarkable people. Here's a story in the St. Paul Pioneer Press called Melissa Hortman, once a teenager with job making burritos. She became a powerful Minnesota lawmaker who trained service dogs. No, MAGA like people that shoot dogs. That's why Kristi Noem's popular. She was a force and a human being, and I beg of you to exercise some restraint on social media as we continue to grieve. From the office of Senator Tina Smith. You can repost that. Because he was posting just bullshit, dude. Nightmare on Walt Street. This is what he was tweeting. So at this point, like, they're intentionally misspelling Tim Walz's last name. And then he also goes, this is what happens when Marxists don't get their way. When it has to do with the assassin. Just a pile of shit. Meanwhile, here's the information about the shooter, actually.
Can you talk about his politics?
Okay, get the fuck out of here, Antifa Carl.
A little bit, I know that you had some discussions. I just wanted to talk.
Well, everyone's calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat. He would be offended if people called him a Democrat. So. As
they all are. They all would be. That's like the worst insult you can give them.
But he, because of this board thing he was on for Governor Walz, it wasn't to serve. He was just serving the community. But he, I can't believe a political issue would cause him to do such a thing.
Did he ever bring up the senator or the representative who were targeted?
Like I was saying, no, he never talked about them. I didn't know those people. I didn't recognize their names.
Any politicians he mentioned?
Well, gee, he mentioned Nancy Pelosi. He didn't like Jim Walz.
That sounds as MAGA to me.
Didn't like Jim Biden.
Jim Biden.
Tim Walz, what would you say about him?
Well, I mean, nothing. I mean, it's just normal.
Normal to MAGA because y'all are so fucking fascist now. So when you just talk shit all day long about politicians all day and like dream about them dying, it's normal to you now.
Well, I don't
like when Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked with a hammer. All these people like laughed about it.
like this, that Tim Walz did this. I don't like that they did that.
You don't believe that guy one bit? That's a personal choice. That's a personal problem.
Did he mention the protests that were planned for yesterday?
He never mentioned the protest.
What do you make of everything that's happened here and the fact
Maybe
that
I mentioned it to him, but I don't think he mentioned anything about it.
What would you tell him?
I would tell him to surrender himself so he can be taken alive, because he's like my best friend, so I don't want him to be killed. I don't want him to kill anyone else, you know? So I think if I saw him, I could talk him down, but you know, I don't know where he is.
And did he listen to any particular podcasts or TV shows or anything
Fox News, Joe Rogan.
online that concerns you?
Only, well, you listen.
Okay, that makes sense. Infowars. Alex Jones.
Infowars. But I kind of told us that, well, it's like 50% truth.
Not even. 0%. Not even close. So this guy's probably MAGA too. You can tell this guy's MAGA the way he's trying to like be nice about his best friend. You're not best friends with a fucking MAGA if you're like politically opposite. That doesn't happen. Especially at this point.
You know, I kind of said, don't take everything what they say for granted. I wasn't a real truthful. I mean, they're on for some things, but some things are way off.
No, they're not on for anything.
Did he talk much about Trump? And what did he say, if so?
I was a Trump supporter. Voted for Trump. Do you like Trump? I like Trump.
Of course, yeah, knew it. Figured.
Yeah.
MAGA hates looking at themselves in the mirror. There's more from him. This is the assassin. This is Vance Bolter.
So there's no sin.
Notice all the right-wingers condemning the violence? No, I don't. Nope, I don't at all.
That God can't take care of. Dieu ne peut pas enlever. Nothing. Il n'y a rien. There's people, especially in America. Il y a des gens, particulièrement aux États-Unis. They don't know what sex they are. They don't know how their sexual orientation. They're confused.
Yeah, this guy's super Democrat, you fucking losers.
Ne savent pas ce qu'ils sont exactement. Ils ont une confusion. The enemy has gotten so far into their mind and their soul. Et l'ennemi est entré dans le fond de leur pensée.
Taking this venom to other countries and spewing it, because this is what maggots do. They take their ministry bullshit and they go to foreign countries and take their own Republican, conservative, American horse shit and then spread it in other countries. Like globalizing their own shit unironically, being little globalist bots.
De leur âme. But this word, mais cette parole, cuts deeper. Va aux profondeurs. Because it's living. Parce qu'elle est vivante. And it's active. Et elle est agissante. And God goes down there and pulls that out. Et elle peut entrer dans notre cœur et enlever tout ce qui est de mal. And He sets every person free. Et pouvoir nous, le Seigneur peut.
A Democrat. That guy, Democrat guy. It's a Democrat guy. The same people that call him a Democrat support this. Same people that call him. Oh, here you go. Yeah, this is for that Antifa false flag thing to count my channel. Lebanon doesn't look too upset about the rockets. Is this the same clip?
No sin. Et il n'y a aucun péché that God can't take care of. Que Dieu ne peut pas enlever. Nothing. Il n'y a rien. There's people, especially in America. Il y a des gens, particulièrement aux États-Unis. They don't know what sex they are. They don't know.
Okay, it's just a longer version, same thing. That was the best parade ever. The military parade you ordered from Wish, and then the one you get. To catch you guys up on some stuff. So anyone that is even trying to make a serious argument that that assassin in Minnesota was a Democrat is intentionally lying. Intentionally lying. He was hired by Mark Dayton, which was the governor before Walz. Because conservatives do security stuff because that's what they like. They care about that shit. You don't have a whole lot of liberals in security, running security ops. You have some for sure, definitely. The majority are right wing, running PMCs, and that's what he did. So they brought him on for security because that's what he's good. It's a non-political position. They brought him on, appointed him to it. Walz kept him. He didn't appoint him. Governor Mark Dayton did. So you could be in that position the whole time and be a right wing as fuck while still working for the governor who is not. Cope harder, William. Cope harder. It's not enough, please. We gotta rewatch the press conference at some point today because that was crazy that they could have had him twice from what I heard. I gotta re-listen. Very simple facts. Correct. Africa is a mess because of this bullshit. Yep. All the Christian ministries that go over there bring all that shit there. All that hate. It was a falsified Democrat. A Democrat hired a crazy MAGA guy to unalive them to make room for the new Democrats, so it would be more subservient to felon Trump tease. Wow, what a conspiracy. Is that what 9D chess means? There was a press conference at 1:30 earlier today. Bullshit, man. It's the Muslims and their hate, bro. Read the Quran, bro. All this talk of false flags, but you put 5 of them up. They all have Trump's name on them. Chinese-made flags for Trump. Guys, we are watching Tel Aviv, along with tens of thousands of others, just tracking the back and forth right now. The last tweet we got from Trump was everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Still waiting for anything further. Don't think we will for now. Yeah, everyone's posting about it. Breaking. Jury finds MyPillow founder Mike Lindell defamed former employee for leading a voting equipment company. Oof. More legal battle for Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy. No, not Pillow Man. Pillow Man down. Checking out coverage map for the new Trump cell phone. Oh no. In order to get elected, Barack Obama will start a war with Iran. Damn. 2011 Trump. What the heck? Trump in 2025. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. The art of MAGA. Blame Obama and do it yourself. Do it anyway. Or buy it. Well, Obama too. Obama, you can use Obama whenever you want. So he still will too. Like, it's gonna continue. I think we'll just keep those 2 tweets out. What time we got? Thanks, Biden. Thank you, Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe. So this could get, I don't know. I don't know. You're gonna have to see how this all plays out from what we're reading here, huh? I don't know what to make of this yet. If it's just more taco and he's just, yeah. Good point. Trump never says that Russia should have signed the deal. We all know why. Owned by Russia. Everyone posted about Trump. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. What? Russia should have signed the deal. I told them to sign. What a shame. Yeah, it doesn't look like that, though. Whoever runs for Democrat next, please promise to exile Stephen Miller. I'll support that. Send them to El Salvador. Keep the immigrants, send MAGA to El Salvador. I'd support whatever candidate would run on that immediately. But thanks to Premier Doug Ford of Ontario, who called to express his condolences to the Hortman family and the people of Minnesota. In times of tragedy, I'm heartened when people of different views and even different nations can rally together around our shared humanity. Damn, Doug Ford called. Nothing from our president. Explosions now at the Natanz nuclear facility in central Iran. From who's the source in that? You all know the great PM of the UK, and we just signed a document.
The UK, and we just signed a document. This is, whoop, sorry about that. Is it? A very important document. Little windy out here. Give me that. We just signed it, and it's done. And so we have our trade agreement with the European Union.
Trade agreement. Oh. You got into Elon's ketamine stash, it sounds like. They need to be all need to be confronted, dude. Yeah, nothing worth even like what we've looked at one tweet of the whole scroll so far. It's all bad. So bad. Terrible content. Iranian media saying a fourth Israeli F-35 has been shot down, as was the case with the last 3. There's no evidence to support this. That's what I asked. The Natanz facility in central Iran was shot, apparently. According to who? What's the source? Twitter users? Trust me. I don't know. I'd like to tell you that happened, but I don't know. I don't have any feeds of Iran, obviously. Nothing's happening in Tel Aviv, at least. We know that. It's 2:21 in the morning. Apparently they've shot down 4 F-35 fighter jets, I guess. Big if true. Multiple explosions have occurred at Natanz nuclear facility. That's 2 accounts now. That's where it is. Is there like a 3D version? Let's pull it up on Earth. Google Earth. Oops. Yeah, go ahead, finish. Wait, what the heck? No, oh, you can take us there, yeah. Okay. Can we get 3D? No, 3D. Nope. At least we can move around a little better here. So apparently this was hit, according to sources on X, Raw's alerts, and OSINT Defender. Yeah, there's no like 3D buildings. Obviously, it's a. You can see the mountains are in 3D. The nuclear facility is not. Bro, just send Solid Snake in there. He'll take care of it. Temporarily closed. Check your signal. I spend 0 minutes on signal. Someone please explain to Kooky Tucker Carlson, huh? Is that a new one? Tucker Carlson's not the chosen one anymore. Yep. You did truth that. That is a truth. It's a truth. It's truthed. Kooky Tucker Carlson. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Damn, dude. We'll save that. That's a thing. Goodness, dude. Is it warm outside? It's like weird. It's like warm but windy. Well, now Tucker Carlson has no obligation to... Well, he'll still do propaganda for Russia, though. Now he doesn't have to do MAGA propaganda anymore. Because that's boring. And MAGA, you only have about 3 more years left anyways, and it'll be a new right-wing movement regardless, so... That's the other thing you don't understand, is like MAGA is done. It'll be something else. It'll be named something else. You'll still have some right-wing bullshit. But MAGA itself is like dead, and Tucker Carlson's getting ahead of the curve for the propaganda. You're gonna have some like gray zone type bullshit propaganda soon here. MAGA's old news. Okay? Old news. Not hip. Not hip anymore. So my dad would say, probably. jumping ship. getting to the root of the propaganda instead of the Trump shit. Getting in Russia's pocket because they have big term imperial goals. Trump is just Timu. Three and a half more years of this, can we withstand the damage? We'll see, I guess, huh? What's that? The MAGA parade? Our vehicles in the feed. We're looking at Tel Aviv. It is live. We are live in Tel Aviv. It's going to be a long 3.5 years for you. I don't think it will. I think it'll be a good 3.5 years for me. It might feel long, but I mean, we're already in June. Like halfway through the first year, right? That kind of went by pretty fast, thankfully. One down, 5 to go, right? You're a military man. What situation are we? Which situation are we talking about? The one we're looking at here in Iran, Israel. You talk about Trump. You talk about the protests. What do we talk about? Yeah. No, Tel Aviv had an air raid alarm go off a couple hours ago. We listened. This will be the content this week, and I'll have other news too, obviously. Talk about in the background, but we'll be watching the skyline. During the daytime, I was late today because one of my favorite games just came out, which I'll be streaming again when I get home from softball tonight. Some nasty storms about 30 minutes southwest of Minneapolis. That's where I gotta go for the games. But they're already happening because at least the first games are already playing. Like the first game started 10 minutes ago already, so they're already out there. Early games have started already. Softball. We got a softball game tonight. I'm gonna go hit dingers. You can follow me here. I stream a month ago was my last stream. Not 3 weeks ago. Almost a month. Because with rain delays, we got rained out in that game. And last week I stayed home for the protest stream. Let me get my shit quick. Hold on. Thanks, my buddy. 20 years later was released this Friday. I figure out a way to the fields. My truck is screwed right now. My truck is like in op until this weekend. I can have it really looked at. Hearing horns honk. Another Trump post? What do you post now? Said America first means many great things. No. Softball is late tonight. Including the fact that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Make America great again. We're going to have a war here, aren't we? We're gonna have a war here, aren't we? Yeah, he's posted nonstop. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. 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 Thank you, POTUS. Bombs away. Jesus Christ, dude. No new wars. President of peace. Thank you, Mums. Thank you, Mumbles. The President. Oh my God. President Trump is leaving the G7 summit early and will return to Washington, D.C. tonight. Yeah, to tell everyone that we're going to go into a war. And that this is peace through strength. President Trump had a great day at the G7, even signing a major trade deal with the UK and Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Much was accomplished, but because of what's going on in the Middle East, President Trump will be leaving tonight after dinner. No, boy. Okay, I can post that. Trump gave him a nickname that's equivalent to saying you're dead to me. Yeah. Dennis, hook up a ride. If not, we're gonna have to Uber to the fields. Trump leaving the G7 because he doesn't want to talk to Zelensky. Could maybe, but Trump is probably leaving to launch a war in Iran. Trump is not even looking at Ukraine right now. He does not care. He is full on into Iran. So you called out Tucker Carlson, calling him kooky Tucker Carlson, and Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon multiple times. We already have bases in the region, so. Let's see here. See this here. Okay, I'm gonna have to Uber to the fields. I live in like the northern part of the city. Gotta figure this out here. It's getting darker outside for the weather too, y'all. Good to see everybody. You've been taking care of your wife. She has oh man, I'm glad you're taking care of her, Kevin. I'm sorry to hear that. Gotta figure out my ride to softball. No, we got softball soon here. I gotta get ready. I gotta get a freaking ride down there. I want to say your lives have completely replaced any other news source for me. That's what you have to do. Appreciate that, Ariana. Especially with this conflict, like staring at a live feed is probably the best you can do, and plus read the postings that happen around it. But in terms of like direct information, up-to-date information, you're probably not going to get it. Welcome Nan says war with Iran is on. Might have an announcement for war tonight. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to get going and get going to the fields because I gotta order a Uber down there and shit. So I'll see you guys later on. I'll be live again all week. Live on my gaming channel later if you want to watch the softball stream, Renegade Softball on YouTube. So you guys can tune in tonight on there, starting at 9:15 Eastern. If there's like all-out war tonight or whatever, like we'll come back live after my game, but. After my game, after that, are going to be on my gaming channel. Okay, streaming Broken Arrow. Can't wait. And then we'll be back tomorrow here on Mercado Media, covering what's happening in Israel, Tehran, and beyond. So make sure you guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, notification bell, join the Discord server. Link is in the description. You guys have a good rest of your afternoon. See you on the next one. Peace.